talking with Falcon football coach Matt Walker. And Matt, could you take a couple minutes and talk a little bit about your experiences so far as the head football coach at UW River Falls?
Well, it's been a fun few months since I got here, and feel very honored to have gotten this position and be in this situation. I think that learned very quickly the passion of Falcon football around this university and around the alumni that surround this place. And again, feel very honored to be the one to kind of spearhead this movement to get this thing going again. And feel very lucky to have kind of been able to take over such a good group of guys. We have great kids on this football team, guys that are passionate, committed, dedicated to getting this thing going, and really blessed to have attracted such a good staff. A number of guys that have carried over from the staff before. You hear stories out there all over the place, and a new coach takes over, and some more stories of staffs they have to retain. Very lucky here, just a wonderful group of guys to work with, and it's been very almost scary how smooth things have gone since I've been here. But we're all excited to finally get started, finally get to hit somebody else and play against another opponent.
Matt, talk a little bit about that. During the preseason, you had a couple weeks with now with the guys. Kind of want to break down the team a little bit. We'll talk offense, defense, special teams. Why don't we start with the offense? What are the fans are going to see this year out of the Falcon offense?
Well, I don't think it's a secret. We have a pretty special backfield. Guy Taylor Edwards returns as one of the better players in this league, which obviously has a number of wonderful players. Guy Joe Yogers, who doesn't probably get the ink in the media that a guy like Taylor does because of the ball touches that Taylor gets, but probably a guy just as valuable to our football team, and really the position title is fullback, but he's doing so much for us. And again, that's not a secret. People knew he was in some different positions last year, and we're excited because of the flexibility that he brings to us. Because of a guy like John Mankey at tight end and all the things that he can do and the flexibility he brings us. I think there's going to be some carryover of what we did last year here just because of the personnel. But we did bring a new system. I was able to bring a guy named Jake Wissing, offense coordinator, a guy who was with me at some previous stops in our coaching career. A guy who knows the kind of system I want to run. But it's a system that we can be flexible enough to use the personnel that's best fit for this football team, and kind of use that to create this offensive system that we have. But again, we're not going to sneak up on anybody. That they're going to know that we need to get Taylor Edwards touches. We need to get Joe Yogers involved. John Mankey special with what he can do at tight end and move him around. And I think we're better at receiver. I think guys like Brady Hannigan and John Wallstrom are a year better than they just another year of experience and development. Had good years last year. Nate Branch really come on for us as a guy that we think will be pretty special. And so again, it's exciting to finally go against somebody else and see what this offensive system can be.
Talking about the defense, Matt, you had you mentioned earlier that you had a lot of players had some snaps last year. In the previous years, you got a lot of those kinds of players back. Could you talk about the D a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's the exciting thing on defense is just all the experience that's back. I think they'd be the first one to tell you no one was super happy with the way things went last year at times defensively. They're as upset about it as anybody. And again, the exciting thing is same system. Everybody's a year older, a year better, a year more comfortable running the system. A few new wrinkles here and there that we're excited about, but experience is the one thing that you can't teach it, and it's probably maybe the #1 variable for taking a leap to the next level is just another year of experience. And so that's the exciting thing on defense right now.
Matt, talk about special teams. You can't do that at UWRF and not mention the name Greg Klingelhutz. Had a great year last year, obviously setting a record for kickoff return yards, tying a record for kickoff returns. He needs like 20-some returns to set a career record, NCAA record, 644 yards to set an NCAA return record. Could you talk about your special teams a little bit?
You said it. I don't need to say anymore. It starts with him. He definitely puts us on the map nationally with what we're doing from a special team standpoint. But we also are excited about all the other teams and other positions out there because we have a lot of body types that fit being good special teams guys. We've got some guys that are very physical, that can run, and getting a lot of guys that can be flexible, that are good in space. We think that We have a nice competition going at our punting situation, so that's going to clean itself up here in the next couple days. Chad Blair's back, very, very reliable place kicker for us. We're excited about. But again, Greg's the one that really puts us on the map there. And I'm as excited as anybody to get to watch that in person. I haven't seen that yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that as well.
Matt, looking ahead, you open up the season on Saturday, 1 o'clock out at Reamer Field, hosting St. Thomas, number 4 ranked in the country. Probably not something a head coach wants to do in his first game, play a number 4 ranked team. But the Tommies are coming in. What do you know about St. Thomas?
Well, you say that, but at the same time, it is exciting. You get a chance to that was one of the things that attracted me about this job. I mean, the chance to play in one of the best conferences, if not the best conference in America, and attract opponents that are the best in the country. And clearly, St. Thomas is that. We're excited for the challenge. They're clearly good. I mean, they got a quarterback, Dakota Tracy, that can really throw it around and can run it, and very multiple in what he can do. I think at wide receiver, obviously the good kid there. Chance to break a bunch of. I mean, he's close to a bunch of career records there for them. I think that their backfield's underrated. I think they run it very well. They're clearly big, physical up front. Defensively, they're very good. They're active. They're strong. They can run. They got good experience back on the line, a linebacker, and a secondary. So we know that we're in for a tremendous challenge. I mean, I think that I hesitantly say, probably wouldn't have handpicked this opponent. In this kind of, I don't like using the word rebuilding, but to everybody else out there, they're looking at this rebuilding project and effort that we have here, and to take on the number 4 team in the country off the bat. Would you pick that? Probably not, but that's what we got. We're excited about it. We're hungry, and we'll obviously respect what they've done there at St. Thomas, but excited to again hit somebody else and get on with the season here.
Matt, thanks for your time. We'll be talking to you next week after the St. Thomas game.
Thank you very much.